Hey guys, it's Isaiah. I'm in the closet today, as you can see, so thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Uh, that was just a joke. These are my anime shelves behind me, as you can see. So today is Monday, the 20th of July. A few days ago, the Crunchyroll store announced, you know, they're basically giving up physical media. They're becoming like a merch drop thing, members only sort of thing. So things are looking not great for physical media. People are upset. Not great. But I thought, what's a fun thing I could do? I'll do a Criterion style video on my own shelves, pointing out some physical media releases, some deeper cuts maybe. Just have a bit of fun in these difficult times. So I have made some selections from my collection. These are all my anime Blu-rays except for Ghibli, Shinkai, and Hosoda. Those are off camera, but I don't really need to talk about those. Everyone knows about those three. So I'll go through and just, yeah, talk about my selections. Again, I'm trying to go for like deeper cuts, hidden gems, that kind of thing. I'm not going to talk about like Full Metal Alchemist and stuff. So, first up, Anthem of the Heart. This is a Mari Okada script, and I forget the director's name, but they collaborated on a few movies. This is one of my favorite projects from her. She's a little hit and miss for me, I won't lie. But this one's really good. This is a Japanese Blu-ray that has English subtitles on it. So that's going to be one of the themes I'm going to hit throughout here is non-US Blu-rays that some of them have subtitles on it. And this is one of them. So if you've seen this movie and, you want to own it, it has been released in the States, this is a perfectly viable way of going about that. So that's a good one. Okay. This is one I definitely wanted to mention. This is The Case of Hana and Alice. This is a film from Shunji Iwai, who's typically a live-action film director. This, I think, is one of the most underseen anime films out there. This is one of my favorite films of all time. And people don't talk about it as much as I think they should. It's a mixed style of rotoscope and 3D CG that I think works seamlessly. I think it looks beautiful. It's funny, it's lighthearted, and I think it takes the best qualities of Shunji Iwai as a director and really emphasizes them. The one thing I like him in live action too, but one thing you can criticize him on is that he's kind of languid. He's not the most concise director when it comes to pacing and stuff, but working in the animated medium I think really forces him to be on the ball and make a concise narrative, which I think works out very well. And with the rotoscoping performances, you see stuff, the physicality of it that you don't really ever see in anime. The way the characters interact and move. There's this one scene in particular I always remember where two girls, this one and another character, are having a discussion, and one is like, you can't see what I'm doing with my feet, but they're like stepping on the feet of the other girl. This really like just naturalistic thing that you wouldn't ever really see in an animated movie. So, and again, it's just so funny. I love the relationship between these two. It's so sweet and uplifting, and I love it. Great movie. Okay, a couple here. Want to give a quick shout out. This is the UK release of Die Buster, and I want to say, I watched this for the first time a couple years ago. I watched Gunbuster, and that's a very highly regarded classic OVA. But I hadn't heard that much about this one, and with the ratings and stuff, I just assumed, oh, you know, it must not be as good. It's a anniversary sequel sort of thing, so you know, it must be not live up to the heights of the original, right? And then I watched it. This is Kazuya Tsurumaki in 2004. Look, I've only seen this once, but I have to say, on a first pass, this is better than Gunbuster. This is, I don't want to exaggerate it like miles and miles, but I think this is clearly the better work. I was blown away. No one told me. Everyone was downplaying this. I think it's better. I think it's like a masterpiece. It comes a few years after Fooly Cooly. This is just as good. It's the same format, 6-episode OVA. I think it's just as good. And no one was selling it to me like that. So let me be the person to sell you on this. Incredible. I was hoping Discotek would release it for a long time, but all the anime got around to it. Maybe Discotek will in the near future. I'm filming this just before their Otakon panel 2026. Maybe that's on the list. But, I mean, if you haven't already, buy a region-free Blu-ray player. The UK has a lot of great releases like this one that you should get on. Before this was announced, I bought the Japanese Blu-ray as well, just because I wanted to own it. And this, I believe, it's not included on this release. This has a commentary track on all 6 episodes by the main creative staff. Not subtitled. This Blu-ray is not subtitled, but you know, if you know a little Japanese and you just want to hear the creators talk, this could be worth getting. That's probably not enough to justify the purchase, but it is there. Okay. Next, I want to give a big shout out. Don't worry about it. I want to give a big shout out to, this is the Japanese Blu-ray Volume 3 of Do It Yourself, which is my anime of whatever year it came out, 2024 or 3. I think it was my anime of the year. I love, you know, slice of life hobby shows, and the designs in this one, the characters, the humor, it looks great. You know, the do-it-yourself hobby stuff, it's kind of a metaphor for, you know, handcrafted arts in the time of, you know, technological advancements and stuff. So, great medium as the message sort of thing. So, if you didn't watch this when it came out a few years ago, get on it. This Blu-ray is not subtitled. I bought the Volume 3 because it was on Surugaya for $13 or something, when it's usually going for $80 or something like that on Amazon Japan. So, and I wanted to own some of it. It has some extras on the disc that are fun. I previewed them. So I'm not recommending that you buy this necessarily, but you should watch the show. For sure. Okay. Let's see. Next, a movie. Ghost Cat Anzu. G-Kids released this a year or two ago. So you've probably seen it around. This is another case of no one I knew or I saw was really praising this movie or giving it its due. It kind of had lukewarm reception from what I could gather. And then I finally watched it, I think last week. I put it on. This is like a perfect movie. This is a pitch perfect kind of low-key comedy drama sort of thing. Again, they filmed it in live action, and kind of rotoscoped or based it on that footage. I've seen people complain about the pacing or whatever. It's slow. I love it. I love that the conflict's pretty minimal. It waits until the end to kind of bring up any action. And it has kind of real emotional stakes. And by the end, you feel kind of moved by it. It's funny. It looks beautiful. The backgrounds, everything. So again, don't let people undersell you on this. This was an absolute treat to watch. I loved it. Strangely, G-Kids is usually really good about special features. This has no special features whatsoever. They posted some videos to their YouTube channel of them like filming the scenes in live action. Don't know why they didn't include that. Whatever. It's still worth getting 100%. Okay. This Crunchyroll release, unfortunate, but they released this a few years ago. I watched the like short 10-minute film for this. It's a adaptation of, or a partial adaptation of this manga, which I bought immediately after watching the short film and this like OVA series. Just the art style and the tone and the character designs and the atmosphere. It's so alluring and this kind of gothic world that's going on, but it's at least from what they adapt, it's wholesome for the most part. Again, I was just blown away, and no one's talking about this. This wasn't on any lists of the year or anything. I didn't, it went under the radar from my perspective, but again, I bought this the second I finished watching it. I bought the Blu-ray. And I would recommend you do the same. Maybe not from the Crunchyroll store, if they even have that listed anymore. I don't know. Another deep cut ADV DVD, Girl Power. I watched this kind of on a whim. I downloaded it because there was a certain staff member, I forget who, it wasn't the director, but who I wanted to see more of their work. And I watched this on a whim because I was like, well, it's short, I'll get it over with. It doesn't, again, I've never heard anyone talk about this. Surprisingly, really good. Really funny, lively. The character acting and designs are really good. This is Akitaro Daiichi, who did like Kodocha and stuff. And I just watched it online and thought, wow, that was really good. And I had no idea they put it out on DVD, ADV a bunch of years ago. I found it on eBay at some point. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll buy that. Give it a shot. It's short. It's like 20-some minutes. And it's just really lively and funny and colorful. And woke. It has a surprisingly woke story, which is great. Jinro, I'm assuming you know about Jinro. Very well-known film. Discotheque has a fantastic Blu-ray release of it. I just want to shout out Japan recently did a 4K restoration release just a few months ago, I think, at this point. And it's more color accurate to the original film, if you look at comparisons and stuff. So, and this does have English subtitles. It is subbed. I don't know if it has all the bonus features that like the Discotheque one has, but 4K and Blu-ray, English subbed. If you're a fan of this film like me, that's definitely something to consider. One of the greats. Okay, I'll shout this out. Thankfully, look, G-Kids, I mean, G-Kids is really doing the Lord's work nowadays, and they just had the greatest Blu-ray release slate that they released just a couple weeks ago of all time. They had Linda, 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 Look Back, Angel's Egg, and Love and Pop. They all announced at once. That's the single greatest Blu-ray release slate of all time. Instant purchase for all of them. Anyway, so thankfully we will have an English Blu-ray of Look Back. This is the Japanese like 4K collector's edition, what have you, that I bought when it released, because I just want to say here, I watched this in the theater when they screened it, and I had astronomical expectations for this film. I had read the manga, became one of my favorite manga instantly. I saw the trailer. I thought it looked incredible. I went to the theater. I watched it. It blew those expectations out of the water, okay? This is what I'm telling you. I think, to me, barring the last Evangelion film, and even that's more than 5 years ago at this point, I think this is like the best film of the last 5 years. And I don't think that's unfair to say. This is really one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Obviously the style and the fluidity and the level of expression, especially through the animation that's going on here. The emotion that it builds up to near the end, and just the thematic resonance of it. Also, if you've seen the movie or read the manga or have heard anyone talk about it, you know this. But when I watched it in the theater and talked to some people after, some people didn't know the context. The original manga was published a year, or I think, yeah, 1 year after the anniversary of the Kyoto Animation arson. And if you remember, the person who did that, the reason they gave is that they felt that Kyoto Animation had stolen his art. It was like art plagiarism. He was like an insane guy, but that's what he said, and that's what a character in this says when something happens. So it's kind of in commemoration of that. It's a reflection on that, and also Fujimoto. There's an interview clip where he talks about volunteering after the 3/11 tsunami and picking up rubble and stuff, and kind of the hopelessness he felt after that experience. So basically, if you don't know that context, the film can come off as just, it has this weird, violent, sad twist, and it can come off as like, oh, he's just trying to ratchet up the drama kind of in a contrived way, but it's a reflection on, why do people continue to create art? What's the use of art when faced with such senseless tragedy? What does it mean to be an artist and experience those things? So broader themes going on. But even if you didn't know that, I mean, just the craft and the emotion and everything. One of the best films I've ever seen. That's like top 15 films of all time, I think. And I'm so glad we'll get a subtitled release. That one's not subtitled. I think it has some bonus features. I don't know if they'll all be transferred to the forthcoming release. But if you haven't been sold on it already, please watch it as soon as you can. Okay. Metropolis. This is a steelbook release from Mill Creek Entertainment. think it's the only release I have from them. I don't know what else they've done. I blind bought this quite a few years ago at this point because I just thought it looked really good, and it does. And I never buy releases just because I think they look good, but it was going for a good deal. And again, this is a movie. I kind of watched it as homework. I was like, well, it's Rentaro. It's a classic big anime film. But again, I hadn't necessarily heard people praising it all that much. So I just put it on. I'm like, well, you know, I'll get it over with. I'm sure it's has some nice visuals or something, but I really wasn't expecting it to be all that great. Again, this is another one I watched, and I was like, this is like a perfect movie. This is perfect. It looks incredible. The early CG integration is really good. It's so stylistic, great score, some of the most impressive backgrounds and set pieces, and it's a really compelling, kind of noirish sci-fi story. I need to rewatch this very soon. I haven't seen it in quite a few years now, but again, if you haven't seen this, I don't know if this steelbook is still in print, but if you can get a copy, I would definitely go for it. Again, I was blown away, pleasantly surprised. Okay, this one's kind of just, I wanted to shout out because I didn't know this Blu-ray existed until I was scouring the pages of the Crunchyroll store a couple years back, trying to like add on to an order or something. Look, I haven't watched this yet, but if you're into anime to the extent of you're interested in the history and stuff, I mean, this is just a historical artifact, propaganda film. I have no, I don't think this will be very enjoyable or even look that good or anything, but again, just as a piece of history, I just didn't know. I was surprised to find it was on Blu-ray from Funimation at one point. So if you didn't know and you are interested in just that as a historical kind of exercise, then just gonna point that out. Okay. Probably the deepest cut in this whole video that I bought maybe a month or two ago, because, well, okay, this is the Naoyuki Tsuji Animation Collection DVD from quite a few years ago at this point. Tsuji is a independent animator who does like charcoal animations that are weird and abstract and dark. But he also has some early work in like stop motion. So this includes, 5 shorts from the 90s up until 2005. The reason I bought this is because I was trying to watch this stuff online, and he has made it extremely difficult to view most of his work. I could find like one short film in full. Well, actually, his longest one, A Feather Stare at the Dark, is on YouTube, and I could find one of his others on his Vimeo or something. But most of his stuff you can't find. Is a real pain, so I was just like, I'm just gonna buy the DVD. So I did. And it's an interesting collection if you're into experimental, artsy, independent animation. I think it's pretty compelling, especially the longest one, the 17-minute one. I read a good article about it that kind of helped put it into perspective, but I don't really know how to sell this. I mean, if you preview his stuff online, just look up his name. You can maybe watch 1 or 2 of his things. You get the sense of what it is, and you would probably know if you want to watch more of it. I had to buy this on eBay. I don't know how many more copies are out there, but something to consider. Okay. Nasu. This is, if you're keeping up with Animego, which you should be, most exciting anime company out there today, I think. They released the first Nasu film on Blu-ray last year or something like that, which is a fantastic Kitaro Kosaka film. So you should definitely buy this if you haven't already. Cycling, sports, film. They're competing in a bike tournament. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable about that, but it's kind of more of a drama. There's a sequel that is even better than the first film. Again, same creative team, I think, for the most part. This one, the last one set in like Spain. This one set in Japan. I just thought it looked better. I thought the drama was even more compelling. I thought it was fantastic. So I'm sincerely hoping that Animego also licensed this. I bought the Japanese Blu-ray just because I wanted to own it. I thought it was so great. This does not have subtitles. So, you know, do what you will with that. But this was so good. It was so good. And the designs, the character designer must be a Ghibli person because they all look like Ghibli characters. The main character looks like Miyazaki Lupin the whole time, which is funny. So watch both. Definitely buy the first one, and hope, like me, that Justin Sudeikis will license that one as well. Okay, another super duper deep cut that you need to watch as soon as you can. Ochibi-san. This is 2023, I don't know, sometime in the last few years. Studio Kara, based on Moyoko Ano manga, and it's a slice of life about Ochibi-san, who's like a little guy, and his animal friends. This, again, I watched it because I'm like, okay, it's Studio Kara, it's a short anime, I can just knock this out, it looks kind of cute. And I was blown away. This is peak slice of life, peak Ihashike. It's so funny and comforting, and pleasant and beautiful. I mean, it's pretty young. It plays pretty young, but I think the craft here, it has great CG integration. The characters look really good. Just the art direction, and again, it was just so funny. I had a smile on my face the whole time, and it also has some emotional moments. Really, just wholesome stuff. It leaves you feeling great. It was so good. This is the Japanese Blu-ray. It does not have subtitles. It's pretty straightforward, and I think the language is simple enough I mean, I could watch this and basically get it. So, again, not necessarily recommending that you have to buy the Blu-ray, but you should definitely watch it. And again, it's very short to the point where it won't take you very long. Okay. And this is maybe a kind of a more practical recommendation. This is Onipan from Sentai, and I bought this during a Sentai sale a little while back, kind of just to fill out my cart and like hit free shipping, I think. It was like $4, and I was like, well, you know, it looks cute enough. Why not give it? If it's a complete wash, it's $4. Who cares? So I got it. Again, this is a short anime, 12 episodes, like 2.5 hours, so like half-length episodes. I'm not gonna say it's fantastic, but it was a lot better than I expected. You know, it's about these Oni girls, and they're doing hijinks and stuff. It's as cute as you would want it to be. It's pretty funny. It's not the funniest. It's kind of funny. Strangely, I think the thing that really sticks out to me here is the seiyuu performances for the three main girls. They're like, I guess, age accurate voice actors. It's all teenage seiyuu, and so it kind of has this vocal texture in their performances that you don't expect from this kind of anime. And I was really I don't know, I was kind of taken aback with it. It's just interesting to hear them. I don't know, the tenor of their performances was kind of interesting to me. So again, it's a fun, if you need to fill out your Sentai cart, I would say go for it. It's a fun watch. Okay. I need to take a drink before this one. This is a... Are you not a fan of One Piece? Because I am not a fan of One Piece. So I was in the same position as you. But are you a fan of art? Are you a fan of animation? Are you a fan of the heights of human expression and storytelling? Well then, you need to watch One Piece Fan Letter, is what I'm telling you. This is like a deluxe Japanese Blu-ray edition that they put out a little while ago. No subtitles, but it has like a soundtrack CD, I think an art book, and some extras. You don't need to buy this, but you need to watch this episode, because let me tell you something. Megumi Ishitani, who directed this, she also directed some very well-known episodes of the show. Her and her writing partner and like character design people that they're working with, this might be like the most goated group working in the industry right now. She has just a few episodes under her belt, but look, I don't mean to be hyperbolic or superlative where I don't need to be. I think this might be the best single episode of anime I've ever seen. The craft of it, the energy, the emotional texture. Okay, so this episode, it's, I don't know, it's like semi-canon, whatever. It's not really about One Piece. It's about how stories and characters affect people. So in this case, it's like these side characters watching the events of the One Piece world and how that affects them emotionally. And it's the most transcendent, well-directed, emotionally resonant episode. Like I have been brought to tears just thinking about it. Okay, so again, I don't want to oversell it, but it's not about One Piece. I have no interest in One Piece really. In terms of the main story, but this is essential viewing, best thing that came out that year, I guess, except for Look Back, but incredible. Please watch it. Okay, I'm gonna cut there. Okay. Okay, next we have two other Japanese releases I want to give a shout out to. They have done 4K remasters of the Patlabor films, and these do have English subtitles, so no reason not to get them. These have storyboard books along with the 4K and Blu-ray, which they have in here. Patlabor, it's fantastic as a series. These are definitely the high points of the series. I don't know what else to say about it. I have been, well, over the past few years now, off and on, I've been trying to go through Oshii's entire filmography, and read up on things and kind of try to study it and understand it better than I have. And I started a few years ago, and I watched through Patlabor once, and especially with these films, I got to them and I realized I didn't really know what they were talking about with, there's a lot of, like, political commentary going on with, like, military, industrial complex, and Japan's policies and things like this. It just, I could recognize that I just was not getting it to the extent I should be, because I was not familiar with this. So, I tried to correct that wrong, and I did some reading, I did some research, I did some rewatching, and, well, it sounds a lot more impressive than it maybe actually was. I did present a paper at a conference earlier this year about Oshii and how his work pertains to the Ampo movement, the student protest movement in Japan, which has a lot to do with Patlabor, but also, I mean, it's kind of a through line throughout a lot of his work. The Kerbero Saga, Jinro, like I was talking about, it kind of is the skeleton key a little bit to understanding a lot of his stuff in some ways. So I do understand it better now. As a matter of fact, tonight I was actually planning on rewatching the first movie. I just rewatched the OVA. Whatever. Watch Patlabor, it's great. The second movie is one of the best films ever. It's in my top, 30 or something. Masterpiece. Best part of the series. Incredible. Worth watching the whole series for that. Okay. We have a few more. Quick shout out. These are Japanese Blu-rays of Rilakama and Kaoru, and the sequel season. These are on Netflix original anime. These are Japanese Blu-rays that don't have English subtitles, so again, I just loved them so much that I felt the need to own them physically. I love Studio Dwarf. I love stop motion animation. This and Pokemon Concierge, they're killing it in every aspect. Yeah, this show, so sweet, so funny, so endearing. Best, well, I was going to say best Sanrio related anime, but I also just recently watched My Melody and Kuromi, which, another recommendation there, oh my god, they're killing it with stop motion stuff. But these are great. Watch them on, well, Netflix if you want, or other ways, but fantastic. Okay, this is a big one. This is an important one. If you haven't been listening to me and taking my recommendation so far, you should really do it here. So, Romeo's Blue Skies. This is an Animego release. This is the first World Masterpiece Theater release in English on physical media, I think. And when this was announced, this was like Christmas for me. This was one of the most exciting announcements I've ever heard. Because I'm big on World Masterpiece Theater. I want more to be released. I have, you know, Japanese copies of the Takahata series. And if we want a shot of seeing any more of those licensed and released, this is like, right now, this is our best opportunity to support releases like this. The people at Animego have said as much. If we want to see more shows in this vein, from this era, from this series, you know, they need to see support for releases like this. So, and this is one of the best ones. I confess I haven't actually seen it yet. I know it's going to be incredible. I know it's going to be one of the best, you know, shows of that decade. But again, this is a monumental release. I think we need to support this as much as we can, and just Animego in general. Again, I do have kind of a brand loyalty when it comes to them, because Justin Sudeikis is doing the Lord's work. So get on this. Hop on the Media OCD store. I'm not sponsored, but again, it might be our only shot at getting official releases of those other shows. Which, I mean, it's a travesty that we haven't for decades. So, okay, this is another Mari Okada / the director whose name I forget work, Her Blue Sky, and I think this is my favorite from that duo, but even Okada in general. I was kind of unsuspecting going in, but I was blown away by how emotional it was. I like the characters. I think one of my problems with Okada scripts is that she makes her characters sometimes like too unlikable to kind of get behind, and I don't know, for me it's difficult. I need to rewatch some of her stuff, but for this it clicked for me the first time. Beautiful. I love the character drama. Like, they're flawed characters, but you can still sympathize with them, and you really care about their kind of arcs and their emotional trajectories. It has a great energy, great music. So this is really good. A Japanese Blu-ray that does have subtitles, so you can buy this and own it, which is good. The subtitles here are like a weird font. Strangely enough, it's like I haven't seen that font on a release before, but small price to pay for a great movie. I guess this is kind of a deep cut. I just wanted to mention this because I rewatched it like the other week, and this is one of my top 10 films of all time. Liz and the Bluebird, Naoko Yamada. I think this is easily her best work to date. I think this is her magnum opus. I mean, what can you say? Indescribably moving, beautiful, sensitive portrait of this relationship. I mean, one of the most beautiful, moving pieces of art ever made. Obviously, it's a kind of a spin-off film to the Sound Euphonium series. You don't have to watch the series to see this movie. I think it works just fine on its own. And if, you know, the baggage of having to watch the series is what's preventing you from watching this, just watch it. Just watch it. You shouldn't miss out on one of the greatest pieces of art humanity has ever created. So I would implore you, get on that, please. What do we have? Okay, this is another Sentai sale blind buy that I made a few months ago. Just on a whim, I thought it looked cute. The style seemed pretty nice. Baseball show, kind of a one-off thing. And I watched it pretty much as soon as I got it. And again, this was another, I was right to buy it. This was delightful, fun, historical anime, Taisho Baseball Girls. You know, it's a nice sports series, kind of what you would expect, but again, it has some interesting, maybe historical context. It made me read a little more about the Taisho era just to kind of get a better understanding. But I mean, it's a cute baseball anime. It has a large cast, but all the girls have distinct personalities. They're really fun to watch. Nice developments. Again, it's it's kind of woke, but at the same time, it's interesting how it does ultimately kind of run into the constraints of the Taisho era. They don't completely break free from it, I guess, which, I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, again, if you're looking through a Sentai sale and you need something to add to your cart, I would put in a good word for that one. Oh, was that it? Okay. Yeah, that was all the anime I selected here. This was a very protracted, rambly sort of video compared to maybe the Criterion Closet ones, but I just wanted to have a little fun, give some shout outs to some maybe underappreciated titles in my collection. So how do I end this? I would just say, you know, in this era where big corporations are not as concerned with physical media, I'm still a big advocate. I would say it's always worth it to keep supporting it, keep buying it. I think it's the best way to experience these kinds of things, and I'm gonna be riding with it for the long haul. So I hope you will too. Thank you, and I'll see you later.